Do you remember where you were 1 year ago today? Well, this week marked the 1 year anniversary of the city's mandatory stay-at-home order due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, we're not out of the woods yet, but I feel a sense of hope now that we have a vaccine and the numbers are going down. To everyone that has lost someone in the last year, I want to offer my sincerest condolences to you. Well, family, it's award season. Last weekend, we all tuned into the star-studded Grammys, and in a few weeks, we'll be tuning into the Oscars. My special guests this week are going to come through, and we're going to talk about all of them. First up, we got writer, curator, and radio host PrettyRiot. She's in the building. Chicago native Larry Legend. He's a comedian and freelance journalist, and Chicago film and TV critic Robert Daniels. He's going to join us as well. So don't move. Stay tuned. It's your boy, Rome J. We Real Chicago. Starts right now. It's your boy, Rome J. I'm here with Larry Legend. What's going on, brother?
What up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for joining us once again. This is your second appearance on We Real Chicago. We're glad to have you. So let's go ahead and hop into the Rome J report. Larry, you're not new to this, but let me just give you a refresher just in case. The Rome J report is where we talk about Chicago arts and entertainment news. So Larry, you're my co-anchor. Let's go ahead and get it started.
All right.
All right, so March Madness is back, y'all. Last year, the annual NCAA tournament was canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. Well, it's back on this year. We got some Chicago and Illinois men's and women's basketball teams in the tourney this year. So, you know, we rooting for them, of course. Now, the first round of the men's NCAA tournament game starts on Friday. U of I scored the 1 seed and over the weekend won the Big Ten tournament. And so they're Big Ten champs now. They beat Ohio State for the spot. Now, Illinois will be playing Drexel University on Friday. And it's been 7 years since Illinois was last in the tourney. So, you know, we hope they do well. Loyola University in Chicago is headed back to the tourney with their 101-year-old school chaplain. And good luck, charmed Sister Jean is coming along too. The Ramblers will be facing Georgia Tech on Friday. So, Larry, What's the Word TV posted a video by Michigan University guard Adrian Nunez, who is at the tourney right now. So take a look at this real quick. It looks like the NCAA is modeling the NBA bubble, you know, where they get the players and they put them in a facility and whatnot. And, you know, it causes they to try and control things, you know what I'm saying? So the league, they're using a device, you know, they're putting trackers in the players' socks. But let's roll the clip. Let's go ahead and roll it.
What?
EA put contact tracing devices on everyone in the tournament.
These tracking devices going off, man.
Oh, it's my tether.
Are you out of your area? Yeah, I think you're out of your area.
Just step up. Too close to me, bro.
Look at it. It's fun.
Now, Larry, and I mean, we at the Triibe, we kind of had a conversation about this earlier, and you know, we come up with current events every week to kind of discuss. Now, the problem with this, as we see it, is that these college players, they don't get paid for anything. I mean, they have to be there. It's a great opportunity nonetheless. But, you know, do you think that they're taking it a little bit too far?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, it is like house arrest though, but they kind of got to do that though, because these is young men. I know they thirsty, so you know they not gonna abide by every rule. You got to just take every precaution just to make sure that the tournament is safe and that they get to play. Like, everybody get a chance to play. Nobody come in sick or infecting everybody else or whatever. You just want to make sure everybody gets to play. Now, they could mandate that they all have a vaccination, but you know, it's hard to mandate a vaccination. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. No, definitely agreed. And yeah, I mean, it's it's hard to judge because there's some players who want to play by any means, and so
Right.
it's just, you know, it's hard for us on the outside looking in to really tell, you know, what's right or wrong in that situation. But speaking of Michigan, we got to shout out former NBA power forward and assistant coach, Chicago Public School alum Juwan Howard. And
he not
now,
the head. He the head coach, I believe.
yeah, he's the head coach of Michigan's men's
Yeah.
basketball team, the Wolverines, and they're also interning this year, and their opponent is to be determined. And Larry, you know, black head coaches. Everybody knows this. Black head coaches are rare. They're a rarity on the college and the pro level. So, you know, what do you think about Juwan's success with this team so far? His old alma mater.
I think it's been great. I think he's one of the few, like it's a few black coaches that's been able to former players that became coaches lately, and more than just basketball, has been able to like recruit, and they kind of shaking up the game a little bit because these players are starting to go towards a guy who actually did it versus going towards, you know, the coaches who's been, you know, coaching good programs or whatever. They going with the guys who played the game and got to the highest level. So I think that's a cool thing for him because he's from the crib. He went to CVS, you know what I'm saying? He really from the crib, super hard. So it's like it give it an extra when I see him, you know, out here doing his thing and like getting fired up like he just did this weekend. And just making sure he showed that he like supposed to be there, you know what I mean? And he getting the players that he deserves and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I saw the clip of him and his players turning up in the center court. So I mean, that's dope to see Juwan having a good time. And like you said, you know, from a player, or if you're on the recruiting side, and this is a dude, I mean, who played for the school and you know who made it to that next level, speaks volumes. So shout out to Juwan there. On the women's side, Northwestern University will be facing the University of Central Florida in the first round, and from Peoria, Illinois Bradley University will be matching up against the University of Texas Longhorns. Now you can catch both those games on Monday. NCAA sports, love to see it. All right, our forever First Lady Michelle Obama will be inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. Mrs. Obama and other inductees will be honored at a ceremony, that is set for October. Advocate, author, lawyer, and 44th First Lady of the United States, the first Black person to serve in the role, Michelle Obama, has emerged as one of the most influential and iconic women of the 21st century, said the National Women's Hall of Fame in a written release. Yeah, moving on. The COVID-19 vaccine is here, but it's not available to all who wish to have it. Teddy Gilmore, owner of Southside Restaurant and Lounge Nipsey's, wants to pay his employees to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And this is right on time, though, Larry. I mean, did you hear that the most Chicagoans will be eligible for the vaccine on March 29th? Have you been hearing about this, man? The United Center, all that's going on?
Yeah, I have heard about the United Center stuff going on.
Tell me, I mean, and I gotta get your opinion, Larry. How do you feel about the vaccine?
I feel like I just feel like if you want to take it, take it. I think it's in a way. I don't want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but because I don't know what I'm talking about. But
okay, fair enough.
Like, you know, in a way, it could be kind of like the flu shot. You people take that regardless. You know what I mean? Like, and regardless if you don't take it, enough people take it, it's going to be effective. So that's how I feel about the vaccine. If you don't like it, you don't have to take it. But if you want to take it so we can hurry up and get this shit over with so we can be back outside and doing what we do. I'm still not shaking hands with a lot of people, and I don't really want to ever drink a bottle off nobody and none of that type of shit. But
are you still passing the woods, Larry?
You know what? I'm not. Maybe with, you know, people who I really rock with like that, but other than that, I'm gonna keep them to myself, man. I ain't really been having sessions anyway. I'm grown now. It's just hard to really get up with your friends when everybody got jobs and lives and, you know, all types of shit going on. So, but I'm with the vaccine. I'm cool with all of that. Like, if you want to do that, I think you should. I think if you don't, you don't. But I don't think you should fight people who stand either way. You know what I mean? I feel like it's stupid to get into it with people over stuff like that. Like, Whatever make you feel safe. That's what I feel like.
It's your boy Rum J. I'm here right now. We Real Chicago. Larry Legend is with me. And we're talking COVID-19 vaccine. It'll be available to most Chicagoans March 29th, but most won't be able to get the vaccine until we're guessing April or May. So be on the lookout for that. This Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker said he wants to exceed what President Biden's promise and make all adults in Illinois eligible for the vaccine by May 1st. Our team has been working hard this week on COVID-19 vaccine updates, so please visit thetribe.com for more info. All right, Chicago rapper Cowboy reached over 1 billion streams this week. The rapper has worked with Polo G, Lil Durk, Meek Mill, Young Thug, and the late King Von, to name a few. He's best known for the single Envy Me. To date, that video has 200 plus million views on YouTube. Cowboy was also included on Double XL's 2020 freshman class, and he's only 21. So Larry, I mean, what do you think about Cowboy's early success?
It's hard for me, man. I'm not really sold on streams like that. I think that's kind of like fluff numbers, tough stuff to me. But like for him, I just want to hear another record. I feel like he had 2 records out at one point. Around the same time that Envy Me was out, he had another one out. I feel like, I'm not sure, but he young, and if he really is serious about the music, I just be waiting to see what people gonna do, because you can't really tell. There's so many guys you hear about one year and then you don't hear about next year, and even for me, it's like crazy to see that he got 1 billion streams. Like, is it all of that one song, or is it like features included? Like, that matters, but to me, it's just like, I need another song, man. I need a string of songs to believe in, his longevity. But it's cool. I think it's a great honor. It's accomplishment. I mean, I think it's a great accomplishment. I mean, just to, 1 billion of anything is a lot. So,
Right. If I can get 1 billion of anything, I'm cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I think what is it like? You get 1 million seconds within like 3 days of life, but you get 1 billion seconds at like 30 years, some shit like that. It's like super crazy, like a drastic difference in time. So like 1 billion is crazy. So, I'm never, hating on that at all. I just want to see more from him, because, it's like Polo G, he got a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't hear a lot of Cowboy stuff. So I want to see more from him, but that's a great accomplishment for sure.
Good point. Larry Legend, comedian, freelance writer. Larry, don't go too far. I'll be bringing you back soon, man. Thanks for joining.
I got one thing, Ro. One thing. Y'all showed that old lady with Loyola. Is that a good idea for her to be going on the road with them?
Maybe she vaccinated. She might already be vaccinated.
She blessed, so hopefully, but like that shit is a little nuts to me. But hey, okay, I'm gonna let that go. Larry
Legend, Larry, you'll be back on to join us in a bit, man. Thank you.
All right.
So now, did y'all catch the Grammys last week? We're here to talk about it. Music's biggest night was last Sunday in LA. And obviously, this was a much different show due to the pandemic, but it was still cool for the most part, even without any fans. So as with every award show, there are winners and losers. I'm bummed Dirk didn't win. And Chloe and Halle walked away with no trophies as well. I got writer, host, curator, and radio host PrettyRiot with me to talk all about the Grammys. She's here right now. She's in the building. Welcome to Be Real Chicago from Illinois Radio. PrettyRiot, what's going on?
What's up, Rome? How are you?
Oh, I'm happy to have you here. It's been a long time coming.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Join us, grace us with your presence, your online presence, your aura shining through the computer screen. I'm happy that you're here.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us. It's Be Real Chicago. So let's just start out with the basics. How'd you get the name PrettyRiot?
So long story short, there are 3 things that you will always notice about a riot. You'll see the riot, then you'll hear the riot, and when it's all said and done, you'll feel the riot. So when it comes to me, I feel like you'll see me. When I open up my mouth to speak, you're going to hear me. And when it's all said and done, you'll feel me too.
All right. Y'all, did my producers get that? That's a clip. We're gonna clip that. We call that a soundbite. All right. Well, so I feel like and we got PrettyRiot in the building. I feel like last year's BET Awards were, just more exciting than this year's Grammys. If you caught both, like, is that fair to say?
I feel like the Grammys have been boring for quite some time now, but yes, I can agree.
Yeah. So, I mean, where should we start? We're talking the Grammys, where should we start? Let's talk about performances. I like how the Grammys, separated the performances and they had the artists perform in different spaces and different areas and different scenes and locations. Those transitions were smooth. And I'm talking about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B's performances specifically. So congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion. She took home 3 awards for Best New Artist, Best Rap Song, and Rap Performance. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought B was gonna surprise us and hop on stage with Megan. She didn't. So I was surprised to see her pop up in the audience nonetheless. So imagine, just Beyonce looking at you like this, just the way she's looking right there. I don't know how I would respond. She's
I have Meg face too. I would be just like Meg. Like, I just won a Grammy. Okay.
She's looking like a proud auntie. Beyonce's looking like a proud motherly beehive auntie. So yeah. And since I brought up Cardi and Megan, though, let's talk about WAP just for a second. It seems like just every once and so often, like at least like once or twice a month, somebody who's super conservative is in their feelings about the song. They got something to say, whether it be on Twitter or whatever. And so Candace Owens, we all know her. She's a Black conservative author and political analyst. She decided to jump in the ring with Cardi B on Twitter last week, or this week, shall I say. And it looks like Candace started it by talking about WAP on Fox Monday night, and it escalated from there. PrettyRiot, what is it about this song and just Cardi B as an artist that gets people so hot and bothered and she just ruffles feathers? Why?
Because she's provocative. Like, I think that's just the simplest way to put it is Cardi B is provocative and she owns it as well. Like, she just doesn't care about, I won't say she doesn't care, but she really does own her provocativeness, and I think people don't really like that when a woman takes up space and makes other people uncomfortable. They kind of expect you to conform or kind of tone yourself down. And Cardi B, like, I'm Cardi B and y'all gonna take it or leave it. So that makes some people uncomfortable. Obviously WAP is it's vulgar, but it's not the first vulgar song we've ever heard. It's not the first vulgar video. I can't even talk. It's not the first of this kind of content that we've seen. So I kind of don't understand why everybody got their pennies in a bunch of it, to be honest. That's just me.
Yeah, it's no different from Milkshake. It's no different from, there's a million. I personally think that the
sexual healing. Come on now.
Yeah. Thank you. The music that our parents were listening to, and this is my point.
It's freaky. It was
the
just
music that our parents were listening to was just as freaky. It was just as provocative. Like Prince was a freak. All these dudes was freaks. And the 90s, to me, like the mid to late 90s was the nastiest period in music to me, just in rap and just music in general. That was getting real raunchy with it. But anyways, Lil Baby performed his Grammy nominated single, The Bigger Picture. This performance included a reenactment of the shooting of Rayshard Brooks, who was killed by police in Atlanta last year. And I really don't know how I feel about this performance. I'm not too sure. How'd you feel about it, PrettyRiot?
I appreciate the statement that was made. I feel like I can always be respectful of an artist that uses their platform to make a statement. And something like this, I was okay with it. Like I said, I just appreciated the statement piece of it. Like the fact that he chose to do that, and he could have did anything else. He could have had a bunch of women on stage shaking their butts, you know what I'm saying? But to actually do something that has more of a meaning behind it, I can get with that. It's bringing awareness to something that, the Black community has been rallying behind for God knows how long. So I can't be mad at it. And in a space like the Grammys, go ahead and make those people uncomfortable. I'm okay. I'm here for it.
Yeah. And you know, like you said, I could appreciate it. Now, some folks online saw this performance as an attempt to profit from the deaths of Black people, kind of as if he was pandering to the moment, kind of. And this is what Lil Baby had to say about some of that criticism. Let's see if we have the quote here. So, in a statement shared alongside the performance's debut and prior to some Samaria's criticisms, Lil Baby detailed his intentions behind the Grammys performance. My performance is important to me, and I had to make sure it was right, he said. Nominations aside, actually performing the bigger picture means the most to me. I paint pictures with my songs and wanted the performance to bring that picture to life. Just like with the song, this performance had to reflect the real, no sugarcoating. My family, my fans, and my city know who I do this for. And that's Lil Baby. That's what he said to Complex. So Samaria Rice, the mother of Tamir Rice, was pretty vocal over the weekend about it. And here's a post that Samaria added on Facebook on Monday morning. You know, so I mean, and that's unfortunate, you know. And you know,
I get why she feels that way. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I get why she feels that way, but it's also like, what do we want from people? You know what I'm saying? Like on a stage like the Grammys, while it can be seen as though this is something to profit off of, Lil Baby is a Black man just like your son was. So just accept the fact that maybe his death may have touched him in a way that he can actually use his voice to spread that message. So I get why she said this, but I don't think it was done in a way to like, oh, he trying to capitalize off it. Like that could have been him. Like let a man like him, let somebody with Lil Baby's audience, with his impression, actually come in and be like, nah, this shit, I mean, this stuff not right. This shit not right, you know? And it's affecting more than just the faces you see on TV crying at rallies and these parents. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I can see why people would say that, but I think whenever celebrities do anything, people automatically assume that it's for a money motive, forgetting that these people be human beings behind that money too. And some things may affect that. Baby got 2 sons. That Lil Baby got 2 sons. He's raising Black men in this. So the dedication was rightfully so. So I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, it's like what's the alternative is for him to have 50 girls on stage shaking ass, and so you know,
and now the performance is meaningless. You know, it's another Grammy performance. So
yeah, you know, that's like the only alternative. Lil Baby does have a plethora of music. He put out a lot of good music. I would have maybe liked to see him perform something else as well. But this was his choice. It was his platform. And I think he used it to the fullest of his ability. Shout out Lil Baby. You know, he did his thing nonetheless. So moving on. And since then, since that post, Rice released a public statement calling on Mallory and other high-profile leaders to step down. And we're talking about Tamika Mallory. This is the first time that we've heard this or that this discussion has been had online, but we do hope that, you know, folks are listening to the families of the victims and, you know, taking just their thoughts into consideration. So let's talk more about the winners and losers of the night, though, right? I mean, so were you pulling for Dirk and Drake to win the best rap song category?
Of course, because I definitely wanted Dirk to get that Grammy under his belt. That's just the Chicago girl in me wanted to see Dirk get that. So I was pretty sad that he didn't get it, but you know,
represent. You know, I got my, you know, I got my thing on. Mitchell, shout out to Mitchell. But yeah, no, and it was unfortunate. You know, or did something inside you kind of want Being Meg to take the award anyways? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Are you low-key a member of the Beehive?
Oh, Beyonce's birthday is the day before mine. So Beyonce is my sister in my head and she don't know it. But look, let me stop playing. But yeah, like that was very hard for me because it was a battle of me wanting women to win and just the woman in me wanted to see my sisters win, and then just me wanting to see my hometown win. So I like personally, that was who it was between the two for me, but I ain't mad that Beyonce and Meg got it, especially Meg coming out the gate. You know, me being able to actually see Meg's career as well. You know, regardless of what has happened within her career, I've watched her grow and I've seen the work she's put in. So I definitely feel like she's very deserving. But the Chicago in me definitely wanted them to bring that Grammy home. I cannot lie. I cannot.
Most definitely. No, it would have been a great moment for Dirk, a great moment.
But I'm rooting for everybody black, period.
Everybody black, period. And speaking of Queen B, Beyonce made history on Sunday. She was nominated for 9 awards, counted 9. What's the dude? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But she was nominated for 9 awards. That's huge, more than any other artist at the show. And she went home with 4 awards. Now she has 28 Grammys. She broke the record for the most Grammys won by a woman and singer, male or female. Young Blue Ivy Carter made history as well. She won her first Grammy. Oh, look at the baby. She won her first Grammy at 9 years old for the music video to her song Brown Skin. Yeah, the youngest Grammy winner in the history of the Grammys. Geez, that family is from the moon. Anyways, so do you think the Grammys are trying to get back on Beyonce's good side since she pretty much lost Album of the Year twice in a row?
I guess. I mean, I think the Grammys, personally, I think the Grammys are very political and it's very much so pay to play. So, I mean, you know, Beyonce got a lot of money, so I guess that's somebody whose good side you would want to be on behalf of. But yeah, because I mean, I still feel like, yeah, they gave her these awards now, but like it's still other things that they've snubbed her for. You know what I'm saying? Like she's been snubbed so many times in the past. It's kind of like, you know,
it's kind of like while watching it, you could feel
it's kind of like you know how like you know when you was growing up, you kept asking your parent for something like, "Ma, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this?" And eventually you don't want it no more. But then one day your mama walked through the door with it, and you like, I mean, I wanted this at one point, but now
you're completely over it now.
I'm over it. I don't want it no more. I asked you 66,000 times and you told me no. And then the one time that I don't even ask for it, you give it to me. What? You know? So that's kind of how I feel about it. Like the Grammys to me is just so political, and I just really would like to see people who deserve to win these awards because I feel like Black artists get snubbed so often and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like it. And honestly, it's not even just Black artists. Like even the R&B category, the fact that there were no women in the R&B category is just, how do you do that? How do you not put any women in an R&B category when you have people like Summer Walker dropping albums? And then how did The Weeknd not get nominations? Like even seeing people who did not get nominations, it just lets me know like y'all got to be doing something real, you know, behind the scenes and tight knit at the Grammys because what really be going on?
Yeah,
it don't be people's choice, you know. It don't be people's choice. No,
it kind of seemed like they were pandering to Beyonce too, kind of like we need you for ratings and attention. Like we need you. Like it's very rare if an artist perform and is in the crowd that they played their part to the song. And Beyonce's full verse to Megan Thee Stallion's song got played, and that's just very strange because it's just like things like this rarely happen. It seems like they wanted her very much to be involved, and she just wasn't going for it. So,
you can do that, you know?
Yeah, and just to know, Beyonce hasn't performed at the Grammys since 2017. So yeah.
We'll see what happens again.
Yeah. So you know, that's the queen playing her cards the way she want to play them. And we're gonna play the way we like to play. It's your boy Rome J. We Real Chicago. I'm in the building right now with the Miss PrettyRiot. Thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you here. So did the Grammys get it right this year? PrettyRiot is here to talk with me about it. Did the Grammys get it right? You know, was there any other artists that we didn't talk about? I know you just named a few, but are there any artists that, you know, that we didn't talk about that got missed with nominations? Who are the real big snubs? You mentioned Summer Walker. Who else?
Oh man, and I came on here prepared to talk about this, and I'm drawing a blank. Honestly, all I can think about in my brain is Billie Eilish. Like, I like her music, but who she won over? Like I swear I really was preparing for this. I'm like, I got a lot to say about the Grammys, but right now all I can think about is Billie Eilish, and I don't like that at all. But I mean, I think, like, me personally, I don't know, this may seem a bit radical, but I think the Grammy snubs great artists every freaking year, and it always just happens to be people that look like us. It always just happens to be the Black artists, and I don't know what it's going to take for them to, like, I don't know if all the Black artists need to just come together and be like, all right, we're just not submitting our music this year. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, y'all clearly don't value us anyway, and why don't we just take our talents to a platform that actually values us? Because why are these people fighting tooth and nail to get awards that they truthfully deserve? Like, you know, I don't know. So, and then it's like, who's voting for this? Like, whatever secret committees y'all got going on, are y'all really tapped in? Because what are y'all doing? Like, what are y'all doing behind closed doors? Y'all put me on the Grammy board, and I bet you it'll be a change. Because no.
It probably wouldn't be a secret no more. You tell everybody what's going on.
Who, me? I'll keep it a secret, but in the room, you're gonna feel the riot. No, she don't deserve that award. She don't deserve that. It's nobody in them rooms saying no, they don't deserve that. I feel like it's all about money, and I don't like that. Like, what in this world are we gonna do that doesn't revolve around money? Like, damn, if y'all can't even give an award off true talent, then why even do it? You know, like, I don't know. That's just me and my passion about the Grammys. You know.
Real quick. Who's your favorite performance for the night?
I like both Meg's performances.
Really?
Truthfully, yeah.
Okay. Okay, the performance the baby's performance was hilarious.
That is true. That is true.
It was hilarious with the white people in the robes, and they was dancing. It was like grandmas. And they was dead ass serious about every move. And then he started conducting them. That shit was hilarious. Excuse my language.
He did have a very enjoyable performance.
Yeah, if my parents was watching, excuse my language, but that shit was hilarious. And it was because he was dead serious. He was conducting them. That was funny. And I also I saw the baby in concert up in Milwaukee. He puts on a really good show. But I really like Roddy Ricch's performance because it was just him and the instruments and just him and the stage. And I feel like that's an element that's lost now. There's a lot of theatrics in these performances. I know it's the Grammys, and so you got to do it big, but there was something really natural and organic about his performance that I really appreciate. And Roddy Ricch is actually really talented. So I really enjoyed seeing him do his thing. He sounds really good. And last but not least, Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. What's the name of their new group? That was hot.
I think that's the one that I didn't catch. I didn't get to see their performance, honestly, because I was talking about, but I didn't get to see that one. But I heard it was good.
It's like Silk Sonic. Silk Sonic. Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Leave the Door Open. They performed that. That is hot. I think that's the best performance of the day, and that song is getting added to my playlist. Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Leave the Door Open. If they're forming a group, that's dope. They're calling it Silk Sonic, so be on the lookout for that. Those are my favorite performances for the night. And this is PrettyRiot. Thank you for joining me. Don't go too far, okay?
No problem.
PrettyRiot in the building. It's your boy Rome J. We Real Chicago. Moving right along. So on Monday, the nominations for the Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars, were announced, and they shocked the heck out of most of us on the internet. So where do we start? First of all, Regina Ben King. All right, Regina King. She didn't get a nomination for her work behind the camera for One Night in Miami. And neither did Spike Lee for The Five Bloods, one of my favorite films from last year. And I really want to know what the Academy has against the brother Spike. They just won't do the right thing. He finally received his first Oscar in 2019 for The Black Klansman. Really good film. But we all know Spike should have gotten it for Do the Right Thing back in the day. So I thought Lakeith Stanfield, who played FBI informant Bill O'Neill in the film Judas and the Black Messiah, was the leading man in the film, right? Well, I guess I was wrong. Daniel Kaluuya, who plays Chairman Fred Hampton in the film, and Lakeith were both nominated for Best Supporting Actor. So the streets want to know, who exactly is the lead in this movie? My next guests are going to help me make some sense of all of this. Let's welcome back Chicago native Larry Legend. He's a comedian and freelance journalist. And joining us is Chicago film and TV critic Robert Daniels. He's joining me for the second time here on We Real Chicago. Let's welcome them both back, and let's welcome Daniel for the first time today. Robert, what's going on?
Man, I'm just trying to survive out here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Robert. Larry, welcome back. So let's get to the Oscars. Let's talk about Judas and the Black Messiah. The movie got 5 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, the first Best Picture nomination for an all-Black producing team. Larry, did you think the movie was going to get this many nominations?
I'm not surprised, I guess I would say, because they've been trying to pander towards Black people a lot lately. So I'm not really surprised by that.
Robert.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going to get more nominations because Dominique Fishback is in it, playing Chairman Fred Hampton's widow and at the time girlfriend, Deborah Johnson. And I thought she was fantastic in it. I thought she was going to get nominated for sure.
Yeah, she's really fantastic. I really enjoyed her in Power as well, with Jamie Foxx. But all right, and let's get into specifics. Robert, can you break down how Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya both get nominated for Best Supporting Actor? Just from somebody on the inside, break this down for us.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty wild because, like, with the Academy Awards, right? So they're about 10,000 voters, 10,000 members or so. And there are 17 branches. So each branch is like a director's branch, there's an actor's branch, and only actors in the actor's branch can vote on acting, the acting award. So when a studio submits where they're going to run people, it's not set in stone. Like in the Golden Globes, say you're running in lead, and that's it. The actors can't vote for you in anything else but lead. But with the Oscars, it's not the case. With the Oscars, the voters, if they want to, even if the studio says, "Hey, Lakeith is a lead," they can vote for him in supporting. So that's what happened. Basically, was that voters thought that Lakeith was supporting. They also thought that Kaluuya was supporting. Personally, I think they're both lead. I think it's a co-lead, but they decided to vote for him in both. And he got enough votes that he got to qualify for supporting. It's happened before. It happened back for Kate Winslet with The Reader, which I think was probably back in 2008 or 2009, where she ran lead, but she ended up getting supporting.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. It's a wild process.
And so that's crazy because apparently Lakeith didn't understand it either. And so he posted this on IG after the announcement dropped. This post has since been deleted. I think we have it though. Do we have it? Yeah, but F it. So Robert, just walk us through the Academy's voting process. And I know you aren't a mind reader or anything, but, what do you think Warner Brothers was trying to do by submitting them for the same category? I mean, don't they have to submit it, though?
Yeah, so they did actually submit them for 2 different categories. They submitted Lakeith for lead. They submitted Daniel Kaluuya for supporting. They submitted Daniel supporting because they thought that was the easier win, which I think Daniel in the end is going to win. I don't think they thought that if Keith got nominated in supporting, that he was going to win. So they ran him in lead, kind of like, I don't know, like as a Hail Mary. Let's see what happens. I don't think they ever expected, no one expected that man was going to be nominated in supporting. And if he probably would not have been nominated for lead. And if he was nominated for lead, he definitely wasn't going to win. And so for the actors who are voting on it, this is kind of the weird thing about the Oscars. So they have to do a preferential. So they list like in order who their top 5 are. So first round, whoever has the most ones immediately nominated, and you keep going from there. So for Lakeith to get nominated, like he had to be on a lot of people's top 5s in supporting, and then that would have been enough to kind of push him over the top. And Warner Brothers, like I said, Lakeith was not really at the top of their of their order of what they were running. They were running strictly for Daniel. They thought that was their win. They thought they had a really good chance at Best Picture and really good chance in cinematography, but they did not think that Lakeith was going to get nominated.
Yeah, and I do think they have a good chance at cinematography. Really well shot movie. So just want to point out, we just want to point out that Chadwick Boseman received a Best Actor nod for his role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Robert, do you think this was done so Lakeith wouldn't lose to Chadwick in this category?
Yeah, like I said, I don't. It's interesting because Chadwick was also up for supporting for the Five Bloods, so he had 2 different chances at a posthumous nomination. I think Chadwick for sure is going to win. I think he gives the best performance of his career in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. If you remember the movie Get On Up when he played James Brown, it's kind of the same talents he's showing in this. He's dancing, he's singing. It's a lot of comedy. It's a lot of high octane drama. And so I think he is probably going to win. Anthony Hopkins for The Father is probably the only person who could really compete with him. So I don't know, like, it's almost impossible to get into the head of an Oscar voter. Every year there's a thing that the Hollywood Reporter publishes called Anonymous Oscar Voters, and they just ask Oscar voters what they were thinking in their thought process, and it never makes sense. People will eliminate someone on the dumbest things, like Selma, when it was going for Best Picture, there was a controversy a couple years ago, actually, that got dropped that a lot of people didn't vote for Selma because they thought it was playing politics, it was playing the race card. And so they nominated. So that's why Selma only got like 2 Oscar nominations. So it's hard to get inside the mind of an Academy voter, but I don't know why they were so intense on voting for Lakeith. I think maybe it's because Lakeith has had such a really good run from like Atlanta, and actually even before Atlanta, like he was in a small movie called Short Term 12 that has, I think, now 3 or 4 Oscar winners that started out in that cast. Brie Larson was on that show or the movie, and so now it feels like this might be kind of a reward of like, okay, you did well for the last 5 years, here's your shine.
Right. Yeah, he gets a nod. He was in that one really good movie where he worked as a telemarketer.
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah, that was a good one. He's been busy. He had that part in Get Out that kind of broke him through, and then Atlanta's real popular. So shout out to Lakeith. He kind of does deserve some flowers right now, so I can see the nod. So Larry, about a week after the film dropped, and we're talking about Judas and the Black Messiah, you tweeted, Larry, do we have any Black American actors that get these big roles about Black Americans? Now, did your opinion about this change after seeing Daniel's portrayal of Chairman Fred, Larry?
No. It's not like they don't do a good job. It's not like I'm attacking their style or whatever. I just be feeling like the only American actors that they really want us to have is like Michael B. Jordan. You know what I mean? Like they're not really pushing any. They're not pushing nobody who actually acts. Like, I mean, Lakeith is cool. I think he's like one of them. I think it's a few guys. I think Chadwick was one before he passed. But we not getting enough to me. I feel like the young man from the Star Wars movies, they like him a little bit. The guy from Snowfall, they love him. And these guys are raw. Don't get me wrong. I really love Snowfall. And the fact when I was watching the first season and realized, like, damn, he's not even from California. Like, this dude isn't even from America. Like, that threw me off. But, like, even Daniel, he's been doing a good job for a long time. Like, I'm not discrediting what they do. I just feel like we never have anybody who's from America playing them American roles like that. Not lately, I'll say. Maybe back in the 90s and stuff like that, of course. But nowadays, it's kind of like they going out to London and England to get their guys. Like, they not sitting on the soil and getting the guys that we got here. Not to say that I can't name 10 guys, but Denzel's son is cool. I like him. He's taking off now, so maybe one day, but like, you know, it's not a lot of guys. I can't just list off like 7 dudes who I feel like are getting those roles. So I still feel the same way.
Yeah, and you know, in all the discussions about this nomination, we peeped some conversations online where folks were like, you know, maybe the Academy is saying the city of Chicago is the leading actor in this film, and the Tribe's critic Daniel Scruggs would disagree. Larry, what do you think about this? Because I mean, the fact is, this movie rarely showed Chicago at all, really.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same old thing to me. I feel like it's not a lot of stuff that represents the city right in film in general, or just it could be TV or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, I feel like The Shot was okay. It kind of did it, but we don't have nothing that really shows Chicago the right way. Like, even on The Shot, they was trying to act like out west was out south, and that was just wrong to people who know what our city looked like. So it wasn't something that I was like, I wasn't really happy with it, but I wasn't like going crazy mad because we don't have anything. So I feel like it's a lot of representation problems we have. Like, Chicago, I feel like Candyman was the last time Chicago looked good on TV. Not look good, but look like Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is just Barbershop. I give Barbershop that. They worked their way into making it look like Chicago. Like, they was over east and they was over east. You know what I mean? Like, but most time, I feel like, what was the movie where the bullets were curving with Morgan Freeman? The Assassin movie that was made in Chicago, but stuff like that don't really show Chicago either. Like, Wanted. And then the movie, I like the movie with Keanu Reeves, Hardball. Hardball was a good Chicago movie. That was a Chicago movie.
Hardball. That's a Chicago movie for real.
Yeah. Was Soul Food in Chicago?
Soul Food.
I believe Soul Food was in Chicago. Yeah. I felt like that was those movies capture Chicago in a different, like the way that I feel like I remember Chicago, like when I was a shorty, or even nowadays. But I really want something, man. I want like a show or something. Not like I want like the sitcoms, like Southside kind of got that going. They represent the city. Like I need way better representation of Chicago for me. I feel like we definitely was missing in Judas. Like it's but it wasn't about us. It wasn't even really about Fred. So it was like, whatever. I can't really be so mad.
Shout out Family
I mean, it wasn't even filmed in Chicago though. It was filmed, I think, in Ohio.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that on the production credits or whatever. Like, that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
But I do feel like now I don't want to stretch this out too long or nothing. But Rob might know more about this than me. But I feel like might be a problem with them getting like the permits to be able to film in Chicago the way they want to. Like, is that a problem? Do you think that's a problem when it comes to them filming in Chicago, like how we need them to, or rather, more often? I know they do big movies here, but like a lot of stuff, it seems like they either only really get north side or kind of west to film. They don't really film on the south side at all.
Robert, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just comes down to taxes. That's it. It's how big of a tax break can the studio get to do the film. One film that I actually thought was a great Chicago film was Steve McQueen's Widows with Viola Davis. That shot all over the west side and the south side.
That's a good one.
And let's not forget Family Matters. Shout out to Eddie Winslow and the whole Winslow family. Also, a Chicago sitcom. Good times.
Good times. You right. You right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget. But yeah, y'all, it's your boy Rome J. I'm here with TV film critic and I'm here with Larry Legend. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm having a mind blank right now. I'm here with my guest Robert Daniels. Jesus. It's your boy Rome J. We Real Chicago. I love it. This is a live show. Now we're back. A few years back, a Black woman, April Rain, created the hashtag Oscars So White because for the last few years, white actors were getting most, if not all, the Oscar nominations and awards. There weren't any Black or other people of color in the conversation. We have seen more diversity in terms of nominations and winners, but Robert, has much really changed over the years? Give me your personal opinion, please.
Yeah, I mean, it has gotten better. I don't think there's any doubt about that. The Academy has increased their membership by 35% since 2015 when Oscars So White happened. However, the Academy is still, I think, 84% white, 62% male. So you get something like Moonlight that's going to win, but then you'll get something like Green Book or I don't know, like Trial of Chicago 7 that might win Best Picture. So the Academy kind of is like a pendulum, right? It swings back and forth and back and forth. I will say so far this year, I think it's better. However, in director and in Best Picture, I think is where it was really weak this year, where you had Judas and the Black Messiah, you had Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, you had One Night in Miami, The Five Bloods, and only one of them got nominated for Best Picture. None of their directors were nominated in Best Director, and it just feels weird that that after the summer that we had, that only one Black film got nominated in either director or in picture.
Yeah, and the Black community, we still mad about Angela Bassett, not winning. You can't tell me that she wasn't Tina Turner for real. And she had it down like Jamie Foxx had down Ray Charles in Ray. Like, these are performances that are iconic to Black people in my book, and so last September, the Academy released some new representation and inclusion guidelines for films to get Oscars eligibility. Let's take a look at what those rules look like. I think we got a graphic card here. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this. I can barely. At least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors is from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. Oh God. Okay, so Robert, are the Oscars really trying here? Black people get the nominations, but don't go home with these awards.
Well, the guidelines that they released, those guidelines, if you went back and you looked at every movie probably in the last 30 years that's been nominated for an Oscar, those guidelines would disqualify very, very few of those films. Most, if not all those films would still get nominations underneath those guidelines. So they put them out, but they didn't really eliminate anything or add anything that wasn't already happening. So I'm not a big believer in those guidelines in general. In terms of whether people are going to, Black people are going to be walking away with awards on Oscar night, I think there's a very good chance we're going to see a lot of Black winners in the Oscar in the acting category. I think Chadwick's probably going to win. I think Daniel Kaluuya is probably going to win. Viola's got a real good chance in lead actress. That's wide open. And then there's some other below the line or craft nominations that there's a really good chance. I can't remember the director's name right now, but in the documentary shorts, there's a Netflix documentary short called A Love Song for Latasha, which is about Latasha Harris's murder in the early 90s.
Oh, wow. So, Larry, I got to ask you, when is it time? Should Black people still even look, to these majority white award shows for validation and acceptance? There's movies, there's some Black classics out there that the Academy, will just never understand or recognize. You know, Boys in the Hood. It didn't get an Oscar, but it got an MTV Movie Award and an NCAA Image Award. You know, movies like Friday, Love and Basketball, So Plain is So Bad That It's Good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so bad that it's kind of even kind of good. Like, you know, anywho, you know, should we stop looking for these award shows to validate us, Larry?
Yeah, in a way. I think the way that we do it, we have to make something of ourselves that's just of high class. I feel like BET events are way too inclusive, and it don't make people feel like they need to dress up. It don't make people feel like they need to be a certain way to be at the event. It's like you gonna get, you know, booty shaking here, and then you're gonna also try to get somebody who want to be elegant. And it's like you can't really blend those crowds too much when you're trying to show off the art. I feel like I feel like even when it came down to like when you had PrettyRiot was talking about the Grammys, it's all in the same thing to me. I just feel like we got to create our own thing. I mean, we always talk about just go back to the go back to the BET Awards, go back to Soul Train and all of that. But it's like, it's hard to just make that serious enough for people to want to have those awards. I feel like we want the Grammy because the Grammy represents music, or it's supposed to. It's supposed to represent music over all colors and, you know, creeds and races and all of that shit. So it's like, when you keep seeing us get beat up over that shit, like we don't really get what we deserve out of it. Like the hip hop awards are going to Macklemore over the guys who actually sweat, blood, and tears go into this music for real. Like they actually have a hip hop. You know, hip hop got a background that you can't just hand this award to Macklemore. But it's like, even with the movies, it's the same thing. I feel like that criteria is ridiculous. I feel like that's stupid because it makes it like you gotta do this stuff, and it kind of tampers with the art. What if the art was about the 20s or whatever, when films didn't have words and you had to read them? What if the art was about that? It's not gonna be no black people in that for real, unless it's about a black actor who did that.
Larry, one of our staffers said we don't say Macklemore around here. We say the M word.
No, you're right. The M word. You're right.
Shout
You're
out
right
to
with
Robin.
that.
Shout out to Robin. She works on the show with us. We say the M word.
She got a good point there. We try to keep that back in 20 whatever was 13 or whatever. Let's keep it back there. But I just feel like with us as a people, we have to make what we have important to us, because it's like if we don't take what we have seriously, we never gonna get the recognition we deserve for what we doing. And then on top of that, like I don't think it's a problem wanting to get a Grammy or Oscar, because those are really the standards of excellence in their categories. Like, so it's like we're not gonna we are never going to be able to snatch that away from what it is. So we still have to play the game. We still have to be a part of that shit, but we should create our own. We need our own elegant awards where everybody dress up, where Bobby Shmurda comes in a suit and we celebrate him. You know what I mean? Like shit like that, where it's a bottle of Hove's champagne on every table.
Yeah,
that type of shit. We need some black excellence for real, not just all this rapping and talking about it and shit. Niggas got enough money to make this stuff happen. So yeah, we just got to take it serious. That's how I feel.
Absolutely. Robert, who do you think should actually have a shot at winning, Daniel or Lakeith? Who do you think will actually win?
I think Daniel should have a shot. Is going to have a shot of winning. I think Daniel should win. I think he completely transforms into Fred Hampton. I like Lakeith as Bill O'Neill. I think he veers, a little bit too much into like a manic kind of side to him. And when you see Bill O'Neill in Eyes on the Prize, right, which they reference that documentary in the film, I don't think Lakeith matches the Bill O'Neill we see in those in those documentary clips in terms of like personality and temperament. But I think Daniel Kaluuya is right on the money with Fred Hampton.
Wow. Yeah. Larry, who do you got? Who do you think deserves it and who do you think will win, Larry?
I think Honestly, I think they both deserve it. I agree with everything Robert just said about, like, I do think like he was a little too menacing in that role, but like I like I want him to win. I want Lakeith to win just because it's like the first time I saw everybody come together and like applaud him for what his work or whatever. And I feel like, you know, we always got people who say whatever, you know, about whatever other roles or whatnot, and he might play the same role all the time. And I'm not big on him as an actor that much, but I like to see people get their flowers just because, like you said, it's certain movies that get awards that shouldn't get awards. Why not give somebody an award who has put in the work, even though it's been it's kind of been a short time frame. I'm rocking with Lakeith to get that award, if not Daniel. But Daniel definitely deserves it to me a little more just because I like him a lot more. That's just me personally, but I rock with them both. Either one of them get it, it's a win for me, to be honest with you. I you know, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, and I also just want to throw out there that there's 3 other actors nominated in this category. One of them being Leslie Odom Jr., who played Sam Cooke in One Night in Miami. He did an excellent job. So the odds are in our favor, and you know I'm rooting for everyone black, like Issa Rae, like like PrettyRiot for everybody black. So it is what it is. Now, gentlemen, before I let you go, let us know what you're working on and whether people can find you online. Larry, please, where can people find you?
You can always find me on Twitter. I'm on there every day. Larry is Legend, one word. On Instagram, Larry is Legend 1. On YouTube, Smoked Out Saturdays. Days is DAZE. We coming back. Like I told y'all earlier, we coming back in April. So be on the lookout for more Smoked Out Saturdays. Be on the lookout for just anything. Just follow those pages. You'll see everything that I got going on for sure.
For sure, Larry, man. I'm gonna get vaccinated. Come blow one with you, dog.
Let's do it.
Already. Yeah. And my good guest, Robert, I don't know how I forgot your name on air. You've been on twice now. You're such a great guest, man. It's been a long day. Film and TV critic Robert Daniels. Robert, please tell the people what you're working on. What do you have in the pipeline, and where can we find you? Keep in touch with everything you're doing, man. Please, the floor is yours.
Yes, yeah, nah, all good, man. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the handle at 812 Film Reviews. Right now, I'm working on a review for the LA Times on the Bob Odenkirk film Nobody. I might be writing something about the Snyder Cut that just came on HBO Max. I'm also working on a piece for Vulture, and anything else that I'm working on you can find on Twitter.
No problem. I'm sorry, y'all, and we're laughing backstage because if you're seeing Judas in the Black Messiah, they said Larry's back here saying they had him as a pimp.
Nah, man, that wasn't me, but they definitely had that man out there with that fur. It looked like was it a fur vest too? Like the man
they had Lil Rail looking like a pimp informant.
The FBI had this man dressed like he was like he was riding with Bumpy Johnson or something. What's this outfit y'all got him in? This is ridiculous.
He definitely looked like one of Frank Lucas's
that fur jacket.
Yeah, he looked like Frank Lucas' nephew or somebody. But thank you, fellas, for joining me. Larry Legend, Robert Daniels. Thanks, y'all. The Oscars will air on Sunday, April 25th. Thank you once again to my guests. Thank you, fellas.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Take care. Take care now. All right. The Color of Change is hosting a Black Joy National Day of Action Monday, March 22nd. The group is dedicated to making the world a less hostile place for Black people, and they plan to hold the Biden-Harris administration accountable when it comes to prioritizing Black issues. We're all invited to that. As a matter of fact, all the events on the scene are open to the public, so make sure you check out the scene. That's the scene at thetriibe.com to stay in tune with everything that's going on in and around the city of Chicago. And guys, That's our show. Thank you to our guests. What a great show. PrettyRiot, Larry, and Robert. If you guys have any questions about the show, yes, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Hit us up at connect@thetribe.com. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube page. You want to hit that little dingly bell so that you know every time your boy Rome J goes live or whenever the Tribe does anything on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at @TheRomeJ_ and on Instagram at @RomeJ_TV. If all hearts are clear, I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. It's your boy Rome J and the Tribe signing out. Peace.